Welcome to the mid-lane roundtable here for the European LCS mid-lane week. My name is Quickshot, and I'm going to be joined by some of the best mid-laners here in Europe to talk about everything. Of course, Sencux from Splice, Perkz from G2 Esports, Febiven from Fnatic, and xPeke, ex-mid-laner for Origin, now ADC.
Why am I here?
Now you've role swapped,
Okay.
but you've got a few years of mid-lane experience, which I want to talk about a little bit later. Before we get to that, let's actually talk about how each of you became a mid-laner. You know, how did you decide to play the role? Was it a role swap? Did somebody introduce you? Sencux, talk to me about how you got into the position.
So I used to play AD carry with some friends in the team when I started playing League like 5 or 6 years ago. And then I thought it was boring to play solo queue with bad support, so I swapped to mid, and then I played Galio only, and I got Elo from bronze to like platinum, and then I just kept playing mid.
So when did you learn to play an actual champion that wasn't Galio?
Galio sounds really boring.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
TP Galio, TP bot, get double kill, win the game.
So what's your story then? Because it must be fairly similar, I think, maybe without the role swaps.
Yeah, actually, I used to main AD carry too, like in season 2 and 3. And then I was a bit bored of the random supports I would get in solo queue. You could say we were not on the same page, so I would take a role that's equally mechanically hard to play, and I would go mid and just play assassins. So that's how I got into playing mid.
Now, Febiven, when we were talking and preparing for this, a lot of people were like, yeah, one trick Riven. Is that your history, or like what's your story?
Yeah, when I started playing League, the first champion I was really in love with was Riven, because he was just jumping everywhere. I don't know, it was the most fun champ ever. And then I bought her, and then I just played a lot of normal games with my friends. And then I started playing ranked, playing only Riven top. People started banning Riven, so I had to play something else, and I really didn't like playing tank top because it was just boring. So I started playing Assassin's mid, like Ari, Zed, and then I just learned all these champs. And
now, the oldest man at the table here, as far as mid lane, how long have you been playing mid, and what was the transition and whatnot back in time?
Well, I don't remember exactly when I started playing mid, because when I played the first year, at that time no one had a set role, everyone played like different champions. And whoever played the best played that champion. So I played a lot of Ashe at that time, Amumu, and Morgana. This was like the three champion I played the most. And
is this like season 1? Season 2?
Before season 1 already. Like before season 1 started is when I was playing those champion a lot. And yeah, at that time you pick the composition, and then you're like, okay, who plays this champion best? And you just give it to him, and that's how it was. And at that time you play AD carries mid and mages mid. So I was playing most of the time Ashe or Morgana mid lane, and that's how I got into sticking to mid lane, because every time a new champion was coming, I was just learning it.
So what made you go the esports route? What made you get involved or looking for a team?
well, basically when I started playing, I got kind of bored of it like after 2 months, because I was playing normal games. And then when I started watching the tournaments, like the World Championships, I gained a lot of motivation. And then I was watching a lot of streams, like looking up to people, and then I wanted to become a pro like them, like just sit behind your computer all day, earn money, and like stream a bit, you know. And then,
which pros did you watch back in the day?
This guy, Ocelot, some American players who were playing only Riven,
Yeah.
like best Riven NA, and some other players. So.
And what about you guys? Similar, or?
I think the first tournament I watched was like Season 1 Championship at DreamHack. I think the only game I really watched was like Yellowstar hit an arrow like across the map or something. Like that's the main thing I remember.
Yeah, he was purple side, I think, hit a bottom lane.
Yeah, like that was the first really like league tournament I watched, and then there weren't as many league tournaments back then, so I didn't really watch anything, but I watched like quite a lot of xPeke and Ocelot as well. And yeah, I think at Season 3 I started watching like a lot more competitive.
So let's talk about European mid laners, because they produce the best mid laners in the world, some of the best. Perkz, you got a little grin here.
I actually don't know.
Why, but like,
I don't know what I can say.
but come on, like why does Europe have like this like reputation of producing good mid laners, Peke? What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I have no idea, because Yeah, it's not like we have a special training. I mean, the toxicity in solo queue in Europe maybe helps, to develop good talent because we are stronger. We have a strong mindset compared to other regions.
Yes, that's for sure.
In NA, they complain when guys rage quit.
Yes, I think EU is very good very good meets because most of the times when you play solo queue, before at least season 4 and stuff, you would never get blue. So you will learn like mental strength and playing without blue buff, and then when you get the blue buff in team game, oof, holy fuck, that blue buff. What is blue buff,
That first game you practice as your jungler asks you at level 2, you want the blue buff? And you're like, what?
But what about now, like mid laners through history? We go back in time and, Peke is one of the original names. You look at Shushay, back in the days, AP Alistair was terrifying. Ocelot, Froggen, Alexish, Pharrell Lord. There's some of these like really big old school names. How many of the younger guys know them? Like Sencux, did you watch them? Did you play against them?
I watched Froggen quite a lot when he was in CLG EU, but I think I've played against Froggen a little bit maybe in scrims and then only solo queue. I didn't really play against the other mid laners besides Peke.
And what did you think? Are they old men? Are they grandpas?
Well,
At that time,
at that time I was pretty boosted, so I think they were pretty good at that time, But some of them are not that good anymore. I still think Froggen is doing good in NA. So.
What about you, Perkz? I mean, I heard you played against Froggen once.
I think I've just screamed against Froggen a couple of times. I never played against him competitively, so it's hard for me to judge how good he was. But he was obviously really good, and now in NA he's doing really good, playing really consistently every game. So I think Froggen is still really good. And who else was there? I had never played against Peke or Pharrell Lord. Not Peke, Ocelot or Pharrell Lord, and I played against Peke a lot, and yeah, he's still good, It's kind of actually a surprise, after 6 years of playing the game. Yeah.
Have you not played against Ocelot at all?
No, I don't think I've ever played against him.
Have you ever challenged him to a 1v1?
When I played with him, he was already retired, so no.
So it's not a fair fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you've talked about Peke and now Febiven. I mean, technically you kind of replaced Peke, in the Fnatic mid lane role when Peke moved on to start Origin. What was that like? Did you know, how much of Peke did you know coming into the position and stuff?
When I was playing in H2K, I was playing only assassins, and I was sure of myself that I was a better assassin player than him, so I got my confidence from that. But I always thought that he was a better mid laner overall, obviously. But I think I just had, I just needed more time and just to prove myself, and I just put pressure on myself. But I didn't really feel pressure that I would fail or something because I know I would do good.
Did you watch any of the other old guys? Like Alexish is a name that we've not really spoken about. He was one of the better assassin players. Did you ever watch him or?
I don't think Alexish was a good assassin player.
Okay.
I think he was always a bit average, besides maybe his Kha'Zix or something. And
at the time that he showed up, he was way better than me. But I just kept improving slowly and improving more. And for him, it was like he had the same playstyle, that once you knew how he played, it was the same. And he didn't improve on that. He just kept being the same. And I think other people started to get better than him. And he used to stay at the same point he was always. And I said when he came out, he was really good because the way he played was smarter than others. Because in Season 2, everyone was not really thinking, and he was thinking a lot. But over the course of years, Season 3, Season 4, it just dropped because everyone knew everything in the game a lot more, and he was just doing the same things and expecting the same result again.
So I want to go back to the Faker discussion because you brought it up that in scrims he dies to ganks, tough games on Azir. You're famous for killing him, solo kills.
Oh yeah.
And it's something that last year's MSI.
He's famous to go 30 CS behind and then killing solo kill.
So give me some context here because we were talking about the Febiven getting
no one looks at
kills.
the CS.
And
That's true.
And
That's
Perkz, why are you so salty about the CS?
I'm not salty. I'm just making a joke.
But come on, explain the joke, because we joked about it off air.
Because I think the way Faker plays is he plays super aggressive. So he gets CS advantage by hitting every CS and denying enemy CS. And then at one point he gets too over aggressive or too cocky or doesn't care. And then he just dies, you know. But he's still up in CS. Like I played Scream versus him, and I killed him a couple of times 1v1, but when I press tab and I see he's still 30 CS up on me, I can't believe it, you know. So he just plays really aggressive and tries to deny as much as possible.
So how much is that just Faker being a god or understanding the matchups?
He really doesn't care. He kind of scares you when you're playing against him, because he goes in like really aggressively all the time, and maybe sometimes he actually gets hit by your skill shots and lose HP, and maybe you win the trade, and he doesn't care. He still does it again. And then when he does it again, and you're like, why is he doing this? Even though he just got here, and if he fucks up again, he will actually lose lane. He still does it, and you get a bit scared, thinking maybe there is the jungler there, maybe there is something. And he plays applying pressure that he doesn't even have, you know. He's just trying all the time, and at some point, sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes it works out a lot, and he's creating pressure for free and winning a lane alone, like if he was 2v1, but he's alone.
What are some tips that you'd give either other LCS players or people at home?
I think people need to stop playing Aurelion solo, and Twisted Fate and Talia, all these roaming champs that annoy me in solo queue, because you will never play against those champs in competitive. So, and if they do play in competitive, it's gonna be 5 times less effective than in solo queue. So that's the first start, and then second start is don't die to every gank. I have to work on that still. And third step is ward a bit more, you know. A couple of pink wards in the game doesn't hurt anyone, so yeah.
Do you think you do your fair share of warding?
Yeah, I actually think I buy pink ward like on every base, or maybe I have some problems selling my Doran's ring in the mid game. Yeah. I don't like my mana regen, you know.
What about you, Sencux? Any pet peeves?
I think people need to start realizing they got a free ward from Riot, and they should place it and not whine about getting killed and playing 1v2 in lane, because the game is 5v5.
Peke, as the most seasoned member of the table?
Yeah, I would say mostly wards and ganks, you know, especially when you call a miss and they don't back out and then they die and they are like,
that's actually the most annoying thing. When you call a miss and your mid laner gets 3 kills, then it's tilt.
Yeah, they get mad at you.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Febiven? Is it just warding and ganks as well? What would you wish mid laners would do or not do?
Not give up so fast, because I usually play against people who are not that old, so like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, and then they did so fast, so when they die once, then they just die again. That's something I used to do as well when I was like playing 2 years ago, but yeah, if you give up after the first time you die, then you just ruin the whole game.
Yeah, you could say some things about that.
Yep.
I remember playing solo against the 4 versus Febiven. It was either 10-0 or 0-10 every game. And you would know you can hit down level 3 to mid, you would get a free kill, and then you would win the game just by getting a free kill.
Too big ego.
Yeah.
I wasn't coached by Daler yet.
Didn't have
That was a good one.
How big of a voice is yours when it comes to, I want to play this, but our team comp wants this? Your analysts and Daylor and the rest of the squad, is it like 30%, 30%, 30%, like who has responsibilities? Like, hey, 50% of the vote is mine because I have to play the champion.
I think it's up to the mid laner. Like the mid laners, obviously your teammates are gonna say something about if you want to pick something bad that it's not gonna happen, but you obviously practice this, and if you have confidence, then I think you should just always give the mid laner the last call.
About the fizz pick, well, it was like 3 mids were banned from their side, and then 1 mid was banned from our side, and they picked the other mid, and then I was like, I don't know what to play. I was like really, I was kind of confused in champ select, or I wasn't like sure what I was gonna play, and then I was like giving suggestions, maybe Ari is good here, guys, maybe some fizz, and then Mitty was like, fizz sounds good, and I'm like, okay, let's go fizz, and then it turned out well in game. But the thing is, in the champ select, I wasn't like super confident, but I was just trying to make myself full confident to my team, so they know that I'm confident, even though I was not confident,
Peke, your angle is going to be a little different because last year already, looking to bring Power of Evil, the 2-man roster, mid and whatnot. Obviously, running a team is a big reason for that. But what's it like as one of the old legends of mid lane of Europe, looking at all the young kids coming up and challenging not only you, but then Power of Evil and your team and things like that? Is it a completely different viewpoint and shift?
For me it's good because it motivates me when I see someone that plays good, that is new and plays good. It kind of motivates me as well to play because I know if I put the time I can be better even. So I really enjoy it when someone comes and is doing stuff that I can learn from, because it just gives a good reason to play, not just play to win and that's it. You're playing to get better at something, and that I kind of like that in a way. So for me it's really good when someone comes and, for example, last year when I was watching MSI, I was on LCS and they were doing super good and I saw Febiven play and I was like, wow, he's doing super good. Now I can learn something from him now, because before that I was playing Challenger Series and it was hard to learn from many teams. Even LCS teams were actually not good when we were in Challenger Series in the spring split. But then after that, Fnatic got really, really good and I could learn again something. So it gave a good reason for me to play and try hard in the summer, so it's really good.
What is the reason that you do what you do? What is the reason that you swapped ADC to build Origin, etc.?
Well, the reason to swap ADC is not really because I wanted to. I didn't really feel. I woke up one day and I feel like playing AD today. Mid lane is getting too boring. These noobs are too out of mid lane. I'm gonna go to ADC.
Actually, that's like me a bit.
So yeah, it was like that, but it's similar in the end. Going to AD is a new challenge. It's something exciting, and right now I'm super bad, but I think after playing only for 2 days, I did better than anyone else would have done, because yeah, I'm still getting caught and doing stupid stuff, but it just motivates me to play more and more. And when I'm playing, for example, towards a goal, like I want to be better than this guy plays this champion really good and I want to play it the same way. I don't think about the games I'm playing, I don't think about the time, I'm just playing and playing and playing, and after every game I don't think about I'm tired, I think about I could have done this better, I could have done that better. And every time I have this challenge or goals, it's just super easy for me to improve without noticing it. And the only bad part about it is that I cannot choose these goals, they just come.
Guys, I just want to say thank you so much. This was, of course, Mid Lane Roundtable, which is a part of the EU LCS midweek. And hopefully we get some more exciting games throughout the split and find out who goes to Worlds.
Me.